to MMA Fancast and Merry Christmas week to everyone. This is a little bit of an early Christmas gift, having knocked out artist James Padmore back on the show. James, welcome back.
Hey, thank you for having me. Nice to be here again. Happy holidays to all.
Absolutely. It's very nice having you back on. You were on for the first time before Brawl in the Berg 15, which 247 Fighting Championships did a great job putting on a fantastic show December 17th at the Monroeville Convention Center, the Saturday, I guess, like 8 days before Christmas. So it is a Christmas gift to yourself. You are 2-0 in your amateur career. Your first fight went a little over a minute and a half range before your knockout. Your last fight didn't even make it a minute with another knockout. So you're obviously a light heavyweight on the rise. Let's talk about the training you did between your first fight and your second fight, and then I'll obviously have you talk about your fight. But it went so quickly, I want to make sure we ask you about your training going in to this fight.
Um, you know, I'm always training jujitsu. I always got the gi on, grappling. That's my first love. And then, once this fight got closer, I just doubled down on the striking, tripled down on the striking. I did as much striking as I could with Will. I tried to squeeze everything I could out of that juice. Um, but training went amazing. I had some great sparring sessions up until going in there. Josh Wasoki. I was sparring with Chris Dempsey. That was big. Um, I I can't do anything with Dempsey. He's so strong. I mean, black belt. He's always winning. When he has his jiu-jitsu matches. I'm grateful and thankful to be able to, get some rounds in with him, and just a whole bunch of other great strikers at my gym.
Well, and then that's obviously a wonderful shout out to both the Mat Factory, obviously Chris Dempsey, great connection there. It goes without saying, but it's important to point out that in the sport of MMA, it's all about giving, right? You're young to the sport, you're new to the sport, but you're getting better by people like Chris Dempsey, who's been in the UFC, giving to you. And the reality is, what's so cool about jiu-jitsu, and you know this, is as soon as you know anything in jiu-jitsu, you help the person who doesn't know that. Even white belts help white belts. And then obviously as you progress through, you end up. So it's really cool. You're in the beginning part of your MMA career, but it is very likely that years from now, somebody's going to be hopefully on MMA Fancast. Hopefully I'll still be doing this. And they'll be saying, hey, James Padmore, I can't believe it's so great to be working with him because he has all this experience and all this knowledge. So it really is a cycle. And hats off to Chris Dempsey. He's been on the show. He's a great guy. And really, at this point, he's got nothing left to prove or nothing left to really show in his career, but he's still competing. He's still training for jiu-jitsu and still helping people get better, which is just wonderful. Walk us through the 33-second fight. What was it like getting in to the cage after your big success the first time? Were you more calm, still jittery? What was it like before the bell sounded?
I felt like I had command of the cage. I felt like I was the star of the show. I felt like everyone was there to see me. That might not have been the case. Shaka was on the card, but I just felt at home. My opponent, tough kid, really threw me off with the walkout song. Don't worry, be happy. I'm like, what's going on here? A little mind game. I'm sure he was trying to play. He gets in the cage, doesn't break eye contact. I said, okay, I got a fight on my hands. I got a warrior. I like this. He's gonna fight back. And he did. He definitely did. He brought it to me. He's only been training for 6 months. What was it? Ray. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Ray. He honestly messaged me. He messaged me a couple of days ago. He's gonna come on out and he's gonna train with me. That's great. Hopefully I made a new friend. He's a great guy. Look, I've been on Instagram. Looks like he has a family and stuff. Beautiful family, and yeah. Yeah, it was just a great experience. I hope I answered your question. I know I ramble.
No, you answer. That's part of your personality showing through. You're a very nice guy. You give great answers. I love having you on the show. And I think that also goes, it's a really important thing for people early in MMA to recognize, particularly if they're watching this, that you always want to give to your opponent, like not before the fight, but after the fight, you want to help him get better
Yeah.
because obviously, if he gets better, your win over him will mean more down the road if he has a successful career. And it's about the brotherhood. You guys have done something that so far you've only had 2 fights, only 2 opponents that have shared that cage with you. And so I think it is really cool. We've seen that at the highest level. Sometimes people stay enemies for a long time, but sometimes having that experience in there together, there's an incredible YouTube video out there. If anybody is interested in watching it, it's so technically beautiful. There's 2 of them. It's at 125, so it's at the flyweights. But Henry Cejudo and Mighty Mouse just a couple months ago sat down and did 2 videos. One, the first fight, which Mighty Mouse won, and one, the second fight, which Cejudo won. But it was really cool, and I think more former opponents should do that. They have lots of respect for each other. They're currently training together, and Cejudo was actually giving Mighty Mouse all the compliments, and Mighty Mouse was trying to tell Cejudo how he could get better if he ever wants to come back to fighting. So it's just really cool to help your opponent. We've got Christmas coming up. You gave yourself a great Christmas gift with a knockout.
Real
Go
quick,
ahead.
did you just compare me to Mighty Mouse? Thank you. I love that.
Of course I did. Of course I did.
He's probably top 5 of all time. I love
He
that.
is. He is.
Merry
And
Christmas to me.
Absolutely. Of course, I just compared you to Mighty Mouse. And I do think, you're a bigger guy. You're at 205. But we've seen that the fighters that dominate are technically proficient. The 205 monsters are technically proficient. At every weight class, the technique shines through. So I would highly encourage you, since you're a Mighty Mouse fan, and I agree with you. He's got to be a top 5. Even though it's sad that most of his career in the UFC was sort of Dana White saying, "Oh, we're going to get rid of the flyweight." It was just a super weird. They ended up trading him to 1. It's just such a bizarre time. But since you're a Mighty Mouse fan, I highly recommend that you watch both of those videos. They're only a couple months old because technically speaking, it is incredible to hear 2 of the best guys talk about the techniques, what they were thinking, what they were feeling. I think you'll gain a lot from it in the mindset of it. Plus you already like Mighty Mouse, so it's his personality. It's just great. You've already given yourself a Christmas gift of your second knockout in 2 fights. What do you want in the new year? Come 2023, just a little bit away. What do you want out of yourself in the new year? 2023's 12 months of potential really change for you. You already have 2 fights. You could potentially get 2, 3, 4 fights in 2023. What do you want to see out of yourself in 2023?
It's simple. 3-0, 4-0, 5-0, get me ready for the pros, get my name out there, or get my name out there more.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully get my purple belt. That's what I really want. I always got this gi on. I need the purple belt to go with it, But yeah, simple. Just keep my unbeaten record going.
Yeah, I mean, it's simple. You have a great focus. I always like to shout out 247 Fighting Championship owner Ryan, general manager Hunter, and of course matchmaker extraordinaire Jim Mooney. But we've seen how valuable it can be. You keep fighting the people in front of you, and I would love to see if you go 3-0, 4-0 in 2023, then that gives you an opportunity for a title fight. We've seen some great amateur title fights. We've seen Tom Kaiser at 170 win a title fight as an undefeated amateur, and then go on to make his pro debut with 247. And so I know that 247 really does want to develop stud amateurs into great pros too. And it's kind of cool to see you and others really offering the opportunity to kind of develop the brand and your own name with it. So that is super great. I appreciate you taking time out to come on. Do you have any thank yous or any shout outs you want to give as we wrap this up? Obviously, a huge Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to you. But go ahead, I'll leave the ball in your court to talk and thank whoever you want to thank.
Okay. I would like to thank first and foremost, Mike Wilkins. Always on my side. A great mentor to me, kind of like a big brother. I'll say that with a grain of salt. I know he has brothers. He probably doesn't need another headache.
He's
Another
a
brother.
great guy.
Um, um, Will, his great striking mind. He's just great coaching, all in all. All my training partners, Josh Soki for helping me warm up in the back. Hunter and all the people you named at 247. It's a great promotion. I had friends come out and they're just like, man, this is this is very engaging. You got the lights, the cage isn't huge, but it's still very like, welcoming looking. It's just great aesthetically, Um and then probably my wife and son, because dad's not always there. And uh you know I'd like to thank them for allowing me to chase my dreams. And I'd love to thank my wife for always holding the house down. And yeah, I'm just gonna end it here because I'll keep going.
Well, end
I'll
it.
keep
Hey,
going.
end it with
Yeah,
thanking your wife. That's a great
yeah,
way to end. It also always goes to show that, particularly in individual sports like fighting, like MMA, the support isn't just. And you gave a great shout out to your teammates and training partners, but the support goes to anybody who's helping you pursue it. Obviously, your child, your wife is top on that list because life gives you a lot to do. So the fact that you're making all this work is just incredible. And happy Merry Christmas to you, Happy New Year to you, your wife, your kid, the whole thing. Can't wait to have you back on in 2023 to talk about your next fight. And I love what you're doing, the work you're putting in, and what's been happening in Cage right now has been wonderful. So congratulations to you.
Thank you for everything. Happy holidays. I
You
hope
got
it's
it.
great for you and bountiful. So
Hey, thank you very much.
yeah,
You take care.
have a good one.
All right, you got it. All right, bye-bye.